The situation in the moon swamp looks so dark, there is only a little moonlight shining from behind the big rocks. There are also several puddles with trees and crows swarming to add to the impression of being haunted everywhere. They didn't know what and where this monster named Zang would appear. When viewed from the threat that is at level 3, Zang should be able to be overcome by Li Xin and Long Hao Chen. But will the reality be that smooth? As they walked over the fallen tree trunk to pass through the puddle, it seemed that another monster was stalking them. The monster is shaped like a crocodile that swims just below the surface of the water with only its nose and eyes out. Here, Li Xin and Long Hao Chen were just about to eat the antidote they brought with them. In the previous episode, we saw that Li Xin was difficult to be contaminated by poison from the beginning of entering the moon swamp. Hao Chen seemed to be fine, but just as they were about to eat the antidote, suddenly the crocodile monster finally appeared to attack them both. Hao Chen's agile movements managed to save the two of them from the crocodile monster's attack. But it seems the crocodile monster still hasn't given up and even got out. He also sensed a dangerous aura rising from behind the rocks. And finally a cute little creature with thick fur appeared before them. There are red and purple hues on the little creature's body. Since Li Xin is a young girl, it's no wonder she likes cute things so much. And without him knowing, that little creature is a danger that is stalking him with all the strange events they experience. It was evident from Li Xin's eyes that once again emitted a green light. Is this little creature the form of Zang? So far, there is no evidence that can prove this allegation. Hao Chen himself had never studied the creature in front of him from Xingyu. All of that might also be too late, as Hao Chen had also started to be exposed to the poison effects of the moon swamp. The cute creature was walking past puddle and suspicious trees. Li Xin also unexpectedly kept walking slowly, following him from behind. They do not realize that the figure who actually poses a big threat is actually lurking. Even though Hao Chen wasn't very interested in the creatures, a burst of energy from the ring in Hao Chen's hand awakened him from all the illusions he was experiencing. And it turns out that it is true that the jellyfish swimming in the air and the suspicious-looking trees are just an illusion. The footprints of a giant monster. Hao Chen knew that Li Xin was in danger. Hao Chen immediately ate the antidote that he brought with him. Slowly, Hao Chen's vision of the moon swamp illusion got much better. But this condition does not apply to Li Xin. Li Xin's cuteness, the moon swamp poison could still make him dizzy and drowsy to the point of losing consciousness. His hands were no longer able to hold the sword in his grip, and his feet began to walk towards the cute creature, to be holding a piece of wood that was considered a cute creature earlier, and continued walking further until half of his body had begun to sink in the swamp. Hao Chen had to save his older brother before something bad happened. But he can only hope that Li Xin can slow down his footwork a bit, because at this time the monster that was their target had already revealed its true form. Not have much effect. Hao Chen started to panic when he realized that Li Xin was getting closer to the bottom of the swamp. Zang managed to take advantage of this opportunity by locking his opponent with all and death situation. Hao Chen managed to remember something. Zang is categorized as a level 3 monster because of his ability to use poisonous illusions to deceive and just prey on his opponent. The main weakness of this white fox is it's very weak. Hao Chen had to face a level 3 monster whose strength was equivalent to a 200-point knight. There was no doubt that this creature with a body that looked like a white-furred fox was extremely formidable. Even Hao Chen's pure white sword could defense. But this information is useless if Hao Chen can't escape the poison illusion. Fortunately, there is one solution if the antidote does not work optimally. Hao Chen just has to have thoughts and beliefs that are stronger than the control of the Zang poison. Because Zang was unable to defend himself, for a time the illusion that was entangling Li Xin finally disappeared. Finally Li Xin realized that she was carrying a log and almost drowned to the bottom of the swamp. Hao Chen immediately threw the antidote, then continued to watch his opponent. Since Li Xin was safe from drowning, she could focus on fighting Zang with her full strength. Even though his condition has just recovered, Li Xin is still trying to help Hao Chen fight Zhang Li. Li Xin also felt very guilty because as an older sister, she had become a burden to the person she was supposed to take care of. Fortunately, Hao Chen has a fighting ability that cannot be underestimated. He would settle all of this on his own, while Li Xin rested for a while. Li Xin delivers a rose sword slash by striking Zhang Li from his blind spot. This gave Hao Chen an opportunity to strike with all his might. The big white fox just now turned back into the cute little creature that tricked Li Xin earlier. But what was surprising was that when Zhang Li fell, he was actually devoured by the crocodile that Hao Chen had encountered earlier. But before Hao Chen acted rashly and chased after him, Li Xin reminded him that the crocodile was an ally of Zhang Li. They would even fall into a trap if they kept on chasing Zhang Li. Fortunately, Hao Chen had managed to get the object that was proof of the completion of his mission, which was a magic crystal. Now he and Li Xin can return to the Night Guild. On the way home, Li Xin and Hao Chen both had a lot of thoughts to deal with. Li Xin is embarrassed to be protected by a much younger person whom she considers as a sister, while Hao Chen becomes curious about the usefulness of the ring that Kair gave. And Zhang Li himself was seen running away with the crocodile monster. After successfully completing the mission entrusted by Master Na Lan, Hao Chen will immediately return to Odin City. Hao Chen's departure certainly made Li Xin sad, but Master Na Lan comforted her by saying that Hao Chen would definitely return someday. Before returning home, Hao Chen reported to Xingyu first. He had spent some time in the meadow near the city of Odin. The flowers there have a very fragrant aroma. Hao Chen felt that his mother would be very happy if he brought some flower stalks too. He concluded that Xingyu was the suspect in causing his mother to be injured. Hao Chen, who was emotional, immediately attacked Xingyu. Go back 10 years to when the Great War had just ended and the hero knights were invited to attend a party. But the main star Xingyu prefers not to meet other knights. Xingyu prefers to meet a beautiful woman named Bei Yue. They had just witnessed a meteor and Bei Yue believed that prayers would be answered if there was a meteor. But Xingyu doesn't believe his mother. But when he got home, Hao Chen was surprised to see his mother vomiting blood. A moment later, suddenly the figure of Xingyu appeared behind his mother. Then Xingyu looks like he used a move on his mother. From what Hao Chen saw, he believes more in his own ability to achieve a wish. Bei Yue was born with an incurable disease. Knowing that Xingyu felt sad and even used her powers to create a fake meteor. And then Xingyu said a wish for Bei Yue's recovery. After the police scene, the people inside the building seemed to be having a dance party. Xingyu was not a person who liked a lively and crowded atmosphere, unless a beautiful woman in front of him wanted to dance with him. This means that Bei Yue is a very important person in Xingyu's heart.